For Christians in the house, I want us to start by referring the Bible today. The book is Proverbs, the chapter is 18, the verse is 22. And maybe a lot of you already know that we are talking about the verse on he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And this video is not in any way talking against that verse, but I think we need to extend that verse, especially for the young men who want to be married or who have just gotten married. And in my opinion, yes, if you find a wife, you find a good thing. But if you find a wife and you decide to marry, you also need to get money, because the beautiful thing will come and you'll get children, and raising up those children will need money. So the conversation should not end at he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So this conversation is especially to the young man who have just gotten married or who wants to marry, so that they can get to understand the assignment before they get there, because love and marriage needs money, and that is a fact that we cannot deny. And the conversation ahead of us is very interesting, because someone is asking for help and they are saying, my wife calls me Fuliza because I'm always broke. Like, the good thing that this man found is calling him Fuliza because he is always broke. So how can we prevent ourselves from being called Fuliza? So that is what we are trying to think about in this video. And the video is quite simple. I want us to get to read this scenario. I will give my views on this story, and I would also really like to hear your views on the same story. So is it that this guy did not find a good thing? Was it that this guy did not prepare well? Or what happened wrong? And what can you advise a young man who is about to get married or who have just gotten married? What is that advice can you give to that young man in relation to marriage, love, and money? Let's go. But before we do that, let me appreciate you for always coming back to watch our videos. In case you are coming across this channel for the first time, this is Finance Focus with Andrew, a platform where we engage in conversations, not about love, not about marriage, but conversations that endeavor to enhance our financial literacy. And today we are talking about love and marriage, because they are all connected to money, they are all connected to finances. So consider subscribing to this channel, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we get to have such conversations. So my wife calls me Fuliza because I'm always broke. Let's go. This is the story of Rodney. I'm in my early 40s. I live in Nairobi. I'm married with 2 children, aged 2 and 8 months old. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. That is a very important point. I have been employed in civil service since my late 20s. I make 69,000 Kenya shillings net. I spend as follows. This guy has an income of 69,000 Kenya shillings. Now let's get to here. After receiving that 69,000 into the account, what gets to happen next? To a point that anaitwa Fuliza. Rent 16,000 Kenya shillings, shopping and groceries 20,000. Remember, it's a family of 4 people: the guy, the wife, a kid who is 2 years, and another kid who is 8 months. The shopping is 20,000. Gas refill 2,500. Power and water 2,000. Go TV and home internet 4,000. Parents 5,000. Mobile loans 14,000. Chama loan 8,500. I had taken a chama loan of 150,000 to prepare for our newborn and to pay for surgery. I have paid for 8 months and I still have about 10 more months to go. I am constantly broke, and I'm always taking Fuliza to make ends meet. This month, my wife has been calling me Fuliza in fits of rage after I took 5,600 Fuliza from her phone behind her back. Hey, huyu ni kama pia alikuwa amesukumwa sana. Maneno ilikuwa imemsukuma sana if he had to go that route. So this is the reason why anaitwa Fuliza. My wife has been calling me Fuliza in fits of rage after I took 5,600 Fuliza from her phone behind her back to meet some urgent bills at home. I laugh it off, but I'm hurting and wondering, what am I doing wrong? I don't enjoy going to work because it all seems futile. I am tired, and that is one of the sad realities. If you are not seeing any change in your life that is coming from the job you are doing, I'm sure you will not get any motivation to go to that job tomorrow. But if you are seeing some change, if you are seeing some progress in your life, I know you'll be more motivated to do that job. So please help me. Please help me. Now, I want you to tell me in the comment section, if you are the one advising this guy, how would you help them? Because they came seeking for help. After receiving 69,000, what is it that they are doing wrong? Or what are they supposed to change? Now, tell me in the comment section. But before that, my reaction is this to this story. I wish we could take it as a lesson for the young men who want to marry or who has just gotten married. Finances will be part of the conversations that we must really have, and we must really plan ourselves. I don't want to comment about a lot of things, but I'm sure this statement, I said this statement was quite critical. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. Maybe that is contributing to part of the issue, because maybe it is not a spending problem, it is an income problem, because this household is depending on a single income. I know for those that goes to the school of the man must provide anything, everything, even if it means them dying, wataanza kunitupia mawe, but that is my honest opinion. That is the part of the problem. I don't understand also how a shopping of 20,000 is being consumed by such a young family. As something interesting, Go TV, home internet, 4,000 Kenya shillings. Nowadays, I think if you have internet, you can get access to a lot of things. But my main point that I want to talk about is the 150,000 chamarun that was taken to prepare for the newborn. You know, I don't think having a kid is an emergency. It is not something that you woke up at the 9th month and realize that you are pregnant and your wife is almost giving birth. It is something that you are aware. You got aware that your wife is pregnant, and in 9 months' time, they will be expecting a newborn. So, as men, as a man, what are you supposed to do about that? And I'm of the opinion that for the sake of your peace, as a man, start preparing about the newborn, not in the 8th month, not in the 9th month, but from the moment you know that you have made someone pregnant. You must come to the realization that you only have 9 months to prepare and do what it takes. If it is savings, have a goal. How much do I need at the end of the 9 months? So how much should I be able to save every month? But now the problem with this man is that his budget is already pressed, and he should have probably tried to see what is he supposed to do different. Again, another question. What do you think about medical insurance? I think one of the things that becomes important, especially for someone who have a family. You see, if a young man who is just alone and maybe a medical insurance might not make a lot of sense. Don't misquote me. I'm not saying that it's not important, but it might not make a lot of sense. But I believe a medical insurance would have prevented this young man. Oh, okay, I don't want to say that he's young. Okay, but a medical insurance might prevent a young man from getting into a debt of 150,000 when the wife is expecting a kid. And you get to realize is that a lot of people do not know about insurance. And you get to realize that maybe with even a premium of, let's say, 10,000 10,000 per annum, you can get a good cover that will cover even the wife when they are having a kid. And a premium of 10,000 per annum, we are talking of a premium of less than 1,000. Is it less than 1,000 actually per month? Yes, because even if you do 1,000 per month, that is a premium of 12,000 per annum. Maybe it might get a good cover, or let's say 2,000 per month medical insurance for someone who has a family. So that is 24,000 premium per year. I'm sure it might get a good cover that might sort an issue like this. The wife having a newborn, instead of rushing for a chama loan. And for the insurance guys who might come across this video, now tell me, what insurance plan or what is the range of the monthly or the annual premium that such a young man can put in place so as to avoid taking a loan of 100,000 when the wife gets into the delivery room. So what is a good cover that can prevent such, and what is the monthly premium or the annual premium that a young man needs to set aside to avoid such hassles when the wife is having a kid. So I think that is what caught my attention in the whole story. Taking 150,000 loan because the wife is having a kid, and I saw it from the two dimensions. Number one, maybe this is something that one is supposed to plan prior to the time, because it is something that you are sure that it is coming. It is not an accident. And number two, what about taking the route of using an insurance program? And that is why I'm asking the insurance people in the house. Tell us in the comment section. Maybe you will even get a client, you get a young man who is heading to the same direction and they would want to change. What is a reasonable premium that someone should pay to avoid taking a loan of 150,000? So niambieni kwa comment section. Let's engage. Tell me your view about the whole story. What should this guy do so that the wife stop calling him Fuliza? So I would really like to hear your thoughts about this story, because it's quite interesting, and these are some of the hard conversations that we must have, especially as young men, so that you don't end up kuitwa Fuliza. Remember our opening remarks: he who fights a wife fights a good thing. My wife calls me Fuliza because I'm always broke. Please help me.